let us start. What are atomic masses? First thing you must keep in mind is atomic masses or atomic mass refers to the mass of neutral atom. It means that an atomic mass is actually the sum of the mass of its neutrons plus the sum of the mass of its protons plus electrons. So we can say that atomic mass is actually mass of electron times z. Z is the atomic number of element, and z time mass of electrons plus z time mass of protons plus n time mass of neutrons. That is, atomic mass of a neutral atom is sum of the masses of its electrons plus protons plus a number of mass of number of neutrons present in its nuclei. Unit. Atomic mass unit is expressed by symbol U. Okay, and it is called mass unit. Define the mass of C612, which is the most abundant isotope of carbon. Abundant isotope of carbon is exactly 12U. So we can define atomic mass unit as the mass of C612 is exactly 12 unit. From here we can calculate the one atomic mass unit. So we can convert 1 unit into kilogram, and it will give us 1.66054 into 10 raised to power minus 27 kilogram. In nuclear physics, we write masses as the sum in the unit of energy, that is in the unit of mega electron volt per c square. We can convert this into energy equivalence, and it will yield us 1.66054 into 10 raised to power minus 27 multiply by 3 into 10 raised to power 8 squared. That is from equation delta E is equal to mc squared. Okay, so this will give us 931.49 mega electron volt energy. Okay, we can also express this unit in term of energy, and it will give us 931.49 mega electron volts of energy by using this equation. Okay, so in nuclear physics, the most commonly used unit for mass is mega electron volt per c square. Again, this comes from equation m is equal to E divided by c square. That is the famous Einstein's equation, m is equal to E by c square. The advantage of using this unit is, as we know, E is equal to mc square. For example, m is equal to 10, mega electron volt per c square. So the energy equivalence of this mass will be 10 mega electron volt per c square multiplied by c square give us equal to 10 mega electron volt. So we use this unit, the unit of mega electron volt per c square, because this gives us the easy conversion of energy equivalence of mass. Okay, chemists use average atomic mass. The average atomic mass, for example, chlorine 35 is abundant. Chlorine 35 natural abundance is almost 67%, while Cl 37 is 33%. You can calculate average atomic mass by the formula average atomic mass is equal to F1 M1 plus F2 M2 up to Fn Mn, where Am is average atomic mass, Fn is the percentage of isotope, Mn is the atomic mass of isotope. Okay. So this was all about atomic masses. Now you can see on the on your screen some masses in various atomic masses unit. For example, mass of proton is 1.6726 into 10 raised to power minus 27 in kilogram unit, 1.00726 in atomic mass unit, and 938.28 in mega electron volt per c square. Similarly, neutron is 939.57 mega electron volt per c square. Electron is 0.511 mega electron volt per c square, and hydrogen atom is which consists of one proton and one electron, is 1.6736 into 10 raised to power minus 27, 1.008785, and 938.79. Here you can see the difference between mass of proton and the hydrogen atom, that is of 1 is 0.28 and 1 is 0.79, which means that there is a small difference of 0.511 mega electron volt, which is of that of electron. Nuclear electrons. Before the discovery of neutron, neutron was discovered in 1932, of course, and hypothesis was put forward that because, as we know, we already discovered electron and proton, so the whole mass of the total mass of proton and electron did not account for total atomic mass of an atom, except for protium atom, which consists of one proton and one electron only. For example, in deuterium atom, there is a missing mass of there was a missing mass of one neutron, a mass missing of almost one proton. So they assume that there must be enough protons and electrons inside the nucleus to neutralize the charge of the nucleus and account for the mass of the atom. For example, in this atom, according to their hypothesis, there must be one more proton plus one electron. This will account for whole mass of the nucleus, and their net charge will be 0. This hypothesis was supported by beta emission. Beta decay supported this hypothesis. But there are certain strong evidences against this hypothesis. So these arguments were: number one is nuclear size. If we confine an electron to a box which is of the size of a nucleus, must have energy of electron is equal to 20 mega electron volt or greater than or equal to. Okay, so if you confine an electron to a nucleus, to a box which is the size of a nucleus, then it must have energy greater than 20 mega electron volts. But in case of beta emission, the electron's energy is energy of beta particle, beta negative particle is 2 or 3 mega electron volt. So nuclear size does not support the idea of nuclear electrons. Nuclear spin. We know both electrons and protons are fermions, and we know that they have a spin quantum number as 1. For example, let us take the nuclei of deuterium. So according to this hypothesis, the nuclei of the deuterium must consist one proton and one electron. Okay, so 3 particles must be there. 2 of them will account for the plus minus charge, that will be 0, and we have plus 1 proton charge on the nuclei. But the spin of this nucleus should be either, according to this hypothesis, 1/2 or 3/2, but it turns out to be exactly 1, which means that this hypothesis is not right. Okay, the number 3 is magnetic moment. Magnetic moment, the proton has a very small magnetic moment as compared to that of electron. Its magnetic moment is 0.15% of an electron. So if the electrons existed inside the nucleus, then the magnetic moment of this nucleus must be comparable to the magnetic moment of electron, but it is not. It is of the order of the magnetic moment of proton and not that of electron. So this hypothesis again go with against nuclear electron. The forces that held constituents of a nucleus together uh, led to a type of binding energy around 8 mega electron volt. So constituents of a nuclei are bind together by a binding energy of E binding is equal to 8 mega electron volt, which is a huge amount of energy. If some of the electrons can be bound here together by the energy equal to 8 mega electron volt, then why some other electrons revolve around the nucleus? Why don't they come here? Why don't they fall here and be bound to the nuclei of the atom, which will destroy the whole atomic structure, and the today's universe, this picture would not have been possible. Okay, so this is another argument against the electron nuclear interaction. Another thing, that if you have a nuclei here and you send a stream of electron towards it, a stream of fast moving electrons toward it, they will scatter of the nuclei, but the whole scattering process could be explained via with the help of electric forces. But when you send a stream of protons toward this nuclei, fast moving protons toward this nuclei, then the interaction is not entirely electric. The scattering is not entirely electric, but rather other type of forces are also act on them. Okay, so despite all these difficulties, since 1932, before the discovery of neutron, this idea of nuclear electron was not abandoned universally. George Gamow was a Ukrainian physicist, Ukrainian American theoretical physicist, who was so uncomfortable with this idea that in 1931, when he wrote his book on nuclear physics, he marked all the portions there in the book, as you can see on your screen, with a crossbone and a skull, representing how scary it was, how uncomfortable he was with this nuclear electron models. When the publisher objected on this, he said that I do not mean to scare my poor readers, but the text itself is scary enough that the idea of nuclear electrons is some sort of a magical thing, some sort of a scary thing, but he then changed it to a less dramatic symbol. But that was George Gamow, who was scared of the idea of nuclear electrons, and it turned out to be a wrong theory.